Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here. Thanks for stopping in. Richard is still in the chat bragging. He was here like 45 minutes before this thing started, but you get to brag when you sell a board game for $175. So Richard was the first in tonight. I appreciate everybody coming in. We had 5 thumbs up before the show even started, which is awesome, but it's not surprising because we have the man himself, Harry Tornado, is joining us today. Josh, thanks for coming in, man.
My pleasure, man. You've got a great channel. You've just sold something. Look at there. Turn my notifications off. You got a great channel. I've followed you for a while now, ever since you joined the SARS movement, and happy to help any way I can.
Man, that was my second video. It was terrible. It was really bad.
I liked it. As I pointed out in the video, your voice, man, your voice is what sets you apart from other content creators. Don't you work in radio? Didn't you say that?
I do. Yeah, that's the day job. I co-host a morning news show, and then I have a half hour. Basically, I have an interview show for a half hour every day.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I figured at some point I might as well transition what I do for a living over to YouTube. I know how to talk to people.
Yeah. Might as well. You know, YouTube is a great, I guess, playground. If that's for lack of a better word, you could just try out, different things you're passionate about. You find one that sticks, something that you feel like you can continually make content about and go with it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you watching. We got a whole lot of people, and actually, this show is it's frankly it's too big for one of us here at the mountain. So my wife is going to be jumping in at some point. She went to pick up my daughter's first day at work today. She got and I tried to convince her to do the reselling thing, and she's like, I don't know, it's not a job to her. She wants to go to a place and see, which I guess I get for your first job as a high school kid. So she's
it's almost like the argument about college. Like some people nowadays say that they know college is overpriced and not worth it, but they still want to go for the experience. Like, I know I can make more money reselling, but I want to have the experience of the first job, like clocking in and having, co-workers in a break room, when we all know that, she can make triple or quadruple whatever she's making.
And she's got a good eye. She finds stuff at like the few sales that I take her to. Like, she picked out a Pampered Chef, like brand new in box thing that sold for like $20. She found a Leonard Nimoy vinyl that eventually sold for like $15-20. But she doesn't dig it. And I think, with no school, this is like hey, I can go and see kids my own age.
Yeah.
And hang out. So I'm okay with that. We've got, we got about a dozen people in here. So that's really cool. We'll give them about another minute to filter in. What did you just sell, Josh?
I received an offer on a VCR. The one I picked up, got it at the bins a couple months ago. I've had it listed for $50 plus shipping. It's one of the Magnavox units, but it's not the DVD recorder. It's just the player. And it's crazy because I had it listed 50 plus shipping, and I sent out offers this weekend all the way down to 35 plus shipping. No one bit. And then somebody sent me an offer of $45. So I'm like, yeah. Definitely going to take that. Got 12 feedback. I think that's pretty reasonable. So we'll go and get that sold.
We got Yakov in. Have you met this guy before?
Yakov? Yeah, he joined in one of my live chats before.
Man, I love you, dude. This guy, we need to get this guy to get a YouTube channel. He's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. He's awesome.
He's a new follower. He came over via Joey Bada Bing, who is not in here yet. He may be getting ready for his own show. He said he was going to be here, and I've got some shoes to show him. So I'm going to wait till he shows up. And see, this chat is going really quick already. So my wife is coming back. It was up on the screen here a little bit ago. She says we're on our way. She's going to handle the. We're trying a new thing here. She's going to handle the chatting, so I don't have to try and scroll through the chat and keep up with the conversation. Josh, I don't know how you even halfway do it when you have like 150 people in your lives.
It's definitely tough, man, especially when I do the channel reviews and store reviews. Like, it's so much to keep track of. So I said last time, I really need an assistant or something when I do those.
Yeah, we figured out to sign in at the same account, and then she can have access to all the controls as the host. So we're gonna give that a shot. I think it's going to work. So Josh, I think we might as well start, and I think we'll get some people when Cats premieres over and people will filter in. But can you kind of just introduce? I don't know if there's anybody in here that doesn't know you, but just in case, and if people find this later, can you kind of introduce us and just give us who is Harry Tornado?
Yeah. So my name's Josh. I go by Harry Tornado on all platforms on the internet. I'm a reseller. It's my full-time job. Buy stuff, sell stuff. It's definitely not traditional, but as long as you have somewhat of an idea of what you're doing, you can make some pretty good money at it. With fairly, I wouldn't say it's easy, but like today was a really productive day for me. But I woke up, I had 29 orders to ship out, and I did that. I went to the post office on Mondays. There's a whole story behind that why I don't do porch pickup anymore on Mondays. I got some deals off Facebook Marketplace for free. I got some the great courses like DVDs for free on there. Stopped by a thrift store. I'm starting to become open about that. I'm going to thrift stores again. And then I listed 10 things. So it wasn't a ton of work, but it was a very productive day. So that's one thing I like about reselling. I'm a naturally laid back person. I don't know. I just don't like the regular job environment. I was talking to a lady today that I used to work with at my job I was laid off from, and she had said that they're all working from home now, all the time. And my job was an insurance underwriter, and we had to work from home one day a month just to make sure that our systems and everything, it was possible for us just in case we had to. And I hated it. It was the worst day of the month. I hate working at home, sitting and having to focus on one thing for basically 4 or 5 hours, and then you get a break, and then another 4 or 5 hours. And it's not for me. And I'm getting laid off was the best thing that could have happened to me. So yeah, reseller, started a YouTube channel, then started making reselling videos last February, and it just kind of took off from there. So I'm just trying to figure everything out as I go, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it, you had what you thought at the time was a good job, right? And it felt like a stable job.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all of a sudden, one day it wasn't.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was an insurance underwriter position. If you didn't have insurance experience, it was a job that required a 4-year degree. My salary was $42,000 a year. I had some other benefits and stuff on top of it. But for, Columbia, South Carolina, it was great. There's college graduates that will do anything to find a $42,000 job out of college. So I definitely felt blessed in the situation. It wasn't a terrible job. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it at all. I didn't,
a little boring.
I didn't enjoy my work, so.
Yeah. So eBay was on the side at that point, or when did eBay come into the equation?
Yeah. So I sold my first thing on eBay, October 31st, 2018. And it was just, I'd always been flipping things locally. I talked in a couple live videos ago how I did the furniture flipping and refurbishing and making stuff. So I'd always had that, I guess, entrepreneurial mindset, but I just didn't want to deal with eBay because I thought it was super complicated. Turns out it is kind of, but it's worth it. I think that the main thing that was scaring me was the shipping. And I found a couple Rally Roots videos, and I was like, let me just try it. I listed a couple clothing items I had, and they sold in about a week or so. And it just went from there. So I never thought YouTube or reselling would individually be anything significant in my life. And I certainly never thought they'd be, come together to form one of the more significant things in my life. Because I started reselling in October. I started my channel in August, but I didn't start making reselling videos until the next February. So it was a lot of experimentation and just learning the ropes before the two mingled, and then a lot of growth over the last year as well, obviously.
So what were the videos before they became reselling videos? I haven't gone back in the archives.
You just got to go watch them, man. I didn't know, my friends and I always wanted, I graduated high school in 2009. So I think YouTube started in 2005. So when I was in high school, YouTube was the new thing. People wanted to do it, but back then our phones didn't have cameras on them. If you wanted to make a video, you had to buy a video camera. Mm-hmm. And it was the time when I think I had a video camera that had the mini VHS tapes that I used to make skate videos when I was 15, before YouTube. And then you had to get like the DVD recorders. Those were the next thing. But then to make YouTube videos, you had to get like the digital ones that like had the mini HDMI plug, you know, and those two. I remember looking at one at like Radio Shack. I feel like this is such an antiquated story. But it was like 4 or 5 megapixels, but it was like $300, you know,
Right.
that was like new at the time. I'm like, man, this isn't worth it. I think the first camera I got was like one of those flip ones that they kind of look like cell phones, and they like flipped up top, and that was like $180, and it was still like maybe 10 megapixels, if that. So I had an old YouTube channel, like way before this one. I made, I think, 1 or 2 videos, kind of like comedy. I guess that's what I was trying to do, but it wasn't funny at all. And then I have another old channel that's like music related. I do like guitar covers, and I made how I got into video editing. I made videos for our church's mission trip, and I uploaded all those videos to that channel as well. And then I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Like, this is something I wanted to do since high school. I kept like piddling around and not sticking to it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it, see what happens. Obviously, you know, starting out without a goal and without a theme for your channel, you're not going to get any real traction. So I think I had like 70 subscribers, like from August till about February. And then I made a Goodwill video, and I got a few people that came in from that, like talking about reselling. And I was like, well, maybe I can just do this. And went from there. I think I went from 70 to like 100 subscribers within like a week, which was really fast considering I went from 0 to 70 in like 5 months, you know. And it just went from there. So
Richard wants to know if that's a single stitch, or is that just a retro?
This is a modern t-shirt. It's just very comfortable, and I like it.
Yeah. There's Joey Bada Bing. That guy is excited even in text.
He is Joey, naturally excited.
We flipped these today, Joey. I was going to box them up right before the show. These things sold, and I thought, you know what? Joey's going to want to see these things. So we didn't box them up. These a retail arbitrage pickup at I think at Ross for like $40 or TJ Maxx, one of the two. It's the same thing, and just sold them for $104.99. So I know you love the shoe game, brother. So those didn't get boxed up just for you. Yeah, Nana Tink, thanks for that spreadsheet. That is awesome. She went through a lot of work to put a spreadsheet of when everybody has their lives going on. I don't know how she figured that out. It's unbelievable.
She asked me about mine. She said she tagged me in a video the other day. I haven't seen it yet, but she asked me my live schedule. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, whenever I have an inkling to go live, I just try to make sure no one else is going live anytime soon. It's like the more content creators on the platform, obviously it's going to be impossible not to overlap somebody. Yeah. And especially with premieres now, like I started premieres, and now everybody does premieres. And it's basically live, so you try not to overlap that. So it's definitely tough, but
yeah, I went randomly to do a just sort of a pop-up live last night, and I went to hit the button, and I looked at my phone and realized, Commonwealth Pickers doing a premiere. I might as well wait. Like, there's no reason for me to do it now. But I mean, take us back, I guess, Josh, to the conversation where, I mean, there's a day where you get laid off, and then it's like, obviously there's the what do I do, but you have that idea of, can I make eBay work? Like, is this something we can actually live on? What was that conversation with you and Mose, and how did you guys figure out, like, is this something that you can keep me in the dog bones?
Exactly. See, it was, getting laid off was definitely unexpected, like completely. Like, my job was super busy. We were on mandatory overtime. There was nothing, like, we had more business than we could shake a stick at. You know, we needed more people. So I got an email invitation to an HR update. It just said HR update 10:30. I was like, I don't know what that is. So I went there, and my friend Charnay, who sat next to me, was in there as well. And she got hired after me. We were the 2 newest employees in our little group of, you know, underwriters. So I was like, oh, maybe they're just need us to sign an updated employee something. And they just came in and they were like, so due to no fault of your own and some restructuring, your positions have been eliminated. And it was just that, like, couldn't go back to our desk. They escorted me to my car like I was a felon or something. Like, it was crazy. And as I was nervous at first. I was like, man, this like, what am I going to do? Because at the time, I think I had like 200 active listings on eBay. I don't even know, like 600 subscribers on YouTube, nowhere near making money on YouTube yet. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And then they came in and said they were going to give us a severance. And I was like, oh, sick. Maybe they'll give me like 6 months pay or something, so I have a little buffer. And it turns out the severance was like less than $1,000, like less than, not even like a week and a half of pay. I'm like, what kind of severance is this? So it was frustrating, but still gave us a little bit. And they paid me out my vacation, so I think it was August 18th that I got laid off. So I felt like I had like a month or so to try to figure things out. And one of the craziest things that happened is that my mother-in-law, she works at another place that's basically similar to the one I worked at, but it's for health insurance instead of home insurance. And one of her friends that she works with, a different department, was hiring for an underwriter. And that, like, she sent me the job posting. This is the same day I got laid off. She sent me the job posting, and like the requirements were, it was me. It was like a people person, 2 years experience in underwriting or more in insurance. I'm like, I got 3 years in insurance, like 2 in underwriting. I'm a people person. Like everything on the list was me. And I applied, and I was like, I guess this is going to be my next bet. And I never even got a call back from that job. Like, they never called me anything, didn't tell me anything about it. And I asked her, I was like, what's up with that? Like, she said she knew the hiring manager. She's like, yeah, I talked to her. She said they were going to look at you, and it never happened. And I don't know. I mean, obviously it wasn't meant to happen, because if I would have got that job, I would have been working, 40, 45 hours a week and basically been doing the same thing, making maybe 2 YouTube videos a month, maybe selling, a couple $100s worth of stuff. It would have been nothing like this. So it's definitely a blessing in disguise. A little confusing, but I don't know. Sometimes jobs are confusing. I applied for a job at Lowe's in 2009, and I got an email from Lowe's in 2012 telling me that there was no available positions at this time. I'm like, when did I apply at Lowe's? I guess they were going through a bunch of old applications or something. I'm like, all right.
Well, and you decided, I mean, so when this happens, I mean, it's your fourth quarter when eBay ramps up. So, yeah. I mean, if it's going to happen, I guess it happened at a good time to say, hey, let's go all in on eBay.
Yeah. And that's exactly what, Haley and I talked about. My wife, Haley, if you guys don't know, I was like, let's just try it. August, September, October, November, December. Like, I mean, we've got a little bit of money saved up. If it doesn't work, whatever, I'll just apply for jobs in January. I was like, if you're going to try being a full-time reseller, August 18th is a great time to start. Like, it couldn't have happened any better. I've talked about this in other videos, but my wife actually got a promotion at her job the week before I was laid off. So everything just, her promotion and, a little bit of severance, and I got monetized on YouTube, like basically the same week. I hit like 1,000 subscribers, like a couple days after that. So everything just kind of fell into place, just pointing me like, hey, just try it out a little bit. What's the worst that could happen? I don't sell as much as I thought I would, and I'll just go apply for another job, So yeah, going from there, sales took off. I'd say, I don't think I fully replaced my income until like December. Like, December was the first time I actually made more than or made about the same as I would have made at my job after taxes and insurance and stuff. And then January was the first month I made more at my job. And then now it's been consistently more. So yeah, it's just.
So how long, like, when was the point where you were like, I think this is going to work? Like, because there's that initial of, I think it can. When did it kind of switch to, I guess, confidence, knowing, this is going to be something that works?
That's a good question. I don't really remember like a certain moment. I just remember that I was never afraid. Like, I've never had a moment in my business where I was concerned, for my income, or concerned that I wouldn't make enough sales. I've always just been confident, it's not hard. I mean, you just got to put in the work. Yeah. Like I watched Emily Conway's video today. She's like, we got a list. I know it sucks, but you just got to do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So Emily, I listed 10 things today because of you, and it was miserable and I hated it.
But then one of them is going to sell in the morning, and it's going to be so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if people maybe don't know. I don't know how they wouldn't, but you just passed 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, could you ever have imagined you're putting together skate videos and now you've got 30,000 subscribers? What is that like?
No, it's weird because like, you know, in high school, I wasn't like a loser, but I was very easily forgettable. I was just like fat and short, and I played golf, and like I had a very small group of friends, but for the most part, people that went to my high school like just didn't really care about me. I wasn't disliked, but I was never like, I didn't go to parties. I didn't hang out with the cool people, you know? So I never expected any part in my life to become a YouTube person. I don't like using the influencer word. But I had no expectations at all going into it. I knew I wanted to grow my channel. I wanted to, help people. And if I could make money doing YouTube, then that was awesome. But to have built the numbers that the channel has, it's just weird, honestly.
Yeah. So how does that happen? Because so many, I mean, I've got this thing I started mid-December. Emily started right about the same time, I believe. There's lots of other folks in here. I know Bluegrass Picker. He's right about the same place I am with like 600. I think he's about like 670 subscribers. So there's a lot of people in here that are sort of in that middle ground of we're almost monetized, but we're not quite there yet. And
yeah,
you've cracked the code somehow because you just took off. So the $1 million question is what's the answer, right? Because I'm sure you hear it all the time. Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say what exactly the answer is. Like, I think the biggest thing is those like really annoying YouTubers that like scream at the camera and like do all the crazy stuff and everything's so exciting all the time. Like, yeah, they're annoying, but they also have 40 million subscribers, so that's like what you have to do to keep somebody's attention. So the biggest thing I would say is I try to make my videos as least boring as possible. Like I try to, usually if I have like a 30-minute video, I'll try to edit out like 10 minutes of it to cut it down. But right now it's like with the daily vlogs, it was different because it was my goal for the daily vlogs in April was just to get them done. I wasn't really caring about views or anything. But for general videos, I try to make them as short as possible, as long as they should be to get information across. But just, if somebody happens to click on your video, you just want to give them a reason to keep watching. Like if somebody likes your title and thumbnail and they click on the video, but the first 4 minutes of that video is you like bumbling around with your camera or your audio's off or something, they're just going to click off because especially if they don't know you, I think the biggest thing on YouTube is that people just don't care about you as a person. They could care less about you. They are super selfish and they only want to watch your video to, be entertained or get some kind of knowledge. So I figured if I could do both of those, people might like it. But even so, like, I don't know the secret. Like I had those 2 videos that took off. I think one is at like 160,000 views. And that was like the biggest jump for my channel. I think I got like 7,000 subscribers from that video. And even that, like out of 160,000 people, only 7 subscribed, and that was a pretty good video. Like that video took a lot of time, like editing and like a lot of information in that video. A lot of the good rules, like asking people to like and subscribe within the first couple minutes of the video. So that way, because I'm guilty myself. Like I'm playing Destiny 2 right now and I'm doing a lot of YouTube videos about that. So I'll YouTube like today, I don't know, patrol things on Mars in Destiny 2. And I'll find a short video, like 2 minutes, and it'll tell me exactly what I need. I'm like, great video. But I'll get so excited and I'll forget to like it, But if they take you through it and they stop like right before they get to whatever information and say, hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe. I probably won't subscribe because I don't want more of that content, but I'll go ahead and like it. So just asking people to like and subscribe, it really does make a huge difference. You don't want to be annoying about it. Like I wouldn't do it more than once per video. But it's much more fruitful if you ask at all, and it's much more fruitful if you ask within the first 2 minutes of the video or so. Usually, I don't know, like if I have like the video I made recently, like 10 used items you can sell for a profit.
Mhm.
I think in that video I asked people to subscribe before I gave any content at all. But I think it's probably good to, like, if the video is 10 things you can sell for a profit on eBay, maybe say 2 things within the first minute or 2 of the video, and then say, hey, if you like these, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want more. Let's get back into it. Like, just a quick 5-10 second blurb reminding people to hit the like button, and then they go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at my videos where I ask for likes and subscribes versus not doing it. And it's 30 to 50% more likes and, probably the same percentage more subscribers. Generally, a lot of, I don't know, my recent videos, most people that are watching them are already subscribed. But the likes are definitely higher when you ask for them. Again, you don't want to be annoying.
That's a great tip.
Just a friendly reminder.
It's a great tip because, and it probably feels weird, right? Like you almost feel like you're begging, right? Like there's a weird feeling to it, but I guess it goes back to the same sort of thing as doing radio. One of the things that they remind you is when you're doing interviews on the radio, people can't see them. So it's not like here where our names are on the screen, not on TV. You have to say who you're talking to, like literally like every 90 seconds. It sounds ridiculous to you, but to the people on the radio, it sounds completely natural. It's the same thing as when you listen to a basketball game and you're like, what's the score, man? Like, tell me who, and you tune in the middle.
I'm so impressed with like announcers at football games and stuff like that. They're so quick. They can look at a play and be like, number 49, Antonio Johnson. Just throws. I'm like, how do you see their numbers? Like they're running like 50 miles an hour. I don't understand.
It's so hard. Well, and I used to do sports. And so the jerseys are huge. Like, a lot of those teams, they'll do like the gray jerseys and then like the white numbers on gray jerseys. It's impossible. Like they might look cool. It's killer for whoever's in the booth. You don't know.
It's very underappreciated talent. Like being able to watch a live sporting event, analyze what's going on from like a sport perspective, and knowing the names and numbers of the players. Some announcers even know the names of the other players on the other team and their numbers. And being able to like process it all, especially like a huge like touchdown, like an 80-yard touchdown. They're seeing it unfold, naming the players, and like providing entertaining commentary on top of that. Like it all happens so fast. I could never do it. And
it's hard. And you have to go. It's the same thing as like you're talking about on YouTube a little bit. You have to go a little bit overboard. Like you have to sound in your own head. You have to sound ridiculous. Like, why am I this excited about this thing? But you're that excited to get the people listening that excited. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing.
It's not, again, YouTube, you've got to be like for me, I'm most of the time I'm pretty naturally excited. So YouTube, like a live chats, I'm pretty laid back because it's a little different, but in edited videos, I try to be like 110 to 115% of my normal personality. Cause the camera, it just like filming is tough. Like that's the hardest part of YouTube, like getting used to talking to a camera and not having anybody there, especially vlogging in public. Like it's super difficult because
it's super awkward.
And if you're in public and you're trying to vlog, you're generally going to be more quiet and then to avoid attention around you. But then the video is going to be garbage because the people that normally watch you are like, why are you so shy? Like I can barely hear you. I don't understand. So
you talked about making sure you want to hold on to people, right? You don't want them to bail. What is your retention in your videos? Like what's your average? Obviously it's going to differ based on how long the video is, but
it's about 60% or so, which is, a pretty standard around YouTube. Like if you get a video with over, 55 to 60% retention rate, that's a good video, because that's going to count for people that just click on it just to hit the dislike button and get off. That happens to basically all my videos. So it's like an average. Most people will probably watch 80 to 100%, but when you count out the people that watch 1 or 3 seconds of it versus people that watch maybe 2 minutes or so, it's about 60%, which I'm happy with.
Yeah. Well, and explain to folks how the monetization stuff actually works. Because I know after my live, I caught a bit of Froggy Flips had a live and they were chatting that he's now monetized. He was talking about, I put out this trivia video and it's like one of my worst videos I've ever done in terms of just people watching it. Like just it didn't land, right? But he's saying, despite it being one of my least watched videos overnight, like 5 hours, we made like 63 cents. And he was super excited.
Yeah.
but because he said, look, this is a terrible, video as far as viewership, and overnight we made money. So you can see like, hey, if I put out good stuff, I'm sure there's Resellers Minute, the weekend. I didn't actually see today's yet. I'm sure that's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean,
so explain how that all works.
So generally the content that's going to make the most money is anything to do with money, honestly, like anything to talk about business, videos with thumbnails or titles that have dollar signs or anything like that. Because that's what, like, those ads that you see on my videos sometimes, like, I don't know, the guy's talking about Amazon FBA, right, like how to make $500,000 a day or whatever. Like, those are the companies that pay the most to have their video advertisement placed on videos. And they know that generally with the audience that watches reselling videos, they're very business savvy. They're all about making money. So they know that that's a very, important audience to get pushed to. Whereas like other YouTube channels, like video games or like kids channels, like, the kids channels don't even have advertisements anymore because the whole YouTube debacle about advertising. So companies if companies are going to pay YouTube to put their ads on videos, they want to know what videos they're going to be put on. And they want their ads to put on videos that are more likely to generate leads for them. I've never bought anything from a YouTube ad, but whatever. I guess we should occasionally to let the companies know that it works. So yeah, I mean, they look at your demographic of your audience. Like, if your audience is a bunch of 10-year-olds, they don't want to advertise to them because they don't have any money. I think my most popular viewer is like 34 to 45 or something like that. And it's like 30% female, 70% male. At one time it was like 80% female, 20% male. I have no idea why, but it changes every couple days. Yeah. So yeah, they just look at your demographics of your channel to determine your CPM, which I don't know what that stands for, but it's basically the price that YouTube pays you for every 1,000 views. I've got my video that has 160,000 subscribers has a $20 CPM. So for every 1,000 views, I would get $20. So 160,000 views, that's a lot of money,
Yeah, and it's over
$2,000.
It's passive income at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean, that video it probably took 2 hours to, like, an hour and a half to 2 hours to film, and then like another 3 hours to edit. So 5 hours worth of work for $2,000. Plus, it generated 7,000 new subscribers to my channel, which have continued to watch my other videos. So it's very, very passive. It may not be truly passive, but it feels passive.
Right.
Like in May, I've only made one video in May, and I think I don't want to tell you wrong. Let me just look it up real fast. Also, if you're a YouTube content creator, there's an app called YouTube Studio. You should definitely download it if you haven't yet.
While you're looking, Richard wants to know what your golf handicap is.
So I played golf in high school, and like my senior year of high school was probably I won most improved every year. So I played 8th grade through 12th grade. So I got pretty good my senior year. My senior year handicap was probably like 8 or 9. And then I got really good like 3 years ago. I played in the summer a lot. And I probably got down to like a 5 or 6, but now I'm probably like a 12 to 15, somewhere around there. Yeah. And that's just because I've only played I play like once every 3 months, Golf is tough if you're not consistent with it, just like YouTube. So for May, I just posted that one vlog in May, which I don't even know if it got 5,000 views yet. It's not really performing well, which I knew it wouldn't, because the title is the last day of the daily vlog. Nobody's going to watch it that's not already a subscriber for my channel, because they don't care. Like I said, they don't care about me. But I've already made $97. Let me see that. Yep. Hello, Lee Blood. $97 just in May. And that's just, Friday I made $51. Saturday I made $28. Sunday I made $17. So it's fairly passive. But again, that's not just from Friday's video. That's like anybody that goes back and watches old videos. All of your old videos stay monetized. For me, I think my channel average CPM is about $10 per 1,000 views, which rounds out to about a penny per view. So if you make a video that gets 10,000 views, you might make what, $100.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's tough to get to where, YouTube is as a primary source of income. If you look at a channel like What the Hales, I don't watch their videos. It's very TV like, they're very over the top and energetic, like I said.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, their audience doesn't watch them because they connect with them on a personal level. Their audience watches them because it feels like watching a TV show. Yeah. But also, I mean, he does videos every day. Their videos get, 10 to 50,000 views, depending on how clickbaity it is. And their CPM is very high because they post constantly, and all their videos are about like the storage auctions and money and things like that. So he probably makes between $250,000 and $300,000 a year just from YouTube. I'm pretty sure they have a video editor now. So, and they don't even sell their stuff. Like if they find something in the auction, they might send it to an auction to be auctioned off, but their focus is not on flipping items. Their focus is YouTube. Like that is his job.
Yeah. They buy stuff for YouTube.
Yeah, literally. Like I talked in my last live video about, like, you can get to that point where when you buy things, it's for the video versus, who cares? Like if you can buy something and make a video and you make $50,000 from a video, who cares if you can sell it? You could throw it out the window. It doesn't matter because you made all your money from the video. So again, I don't want my channel to be like that because it's and nothing against them. I'm sure they're great people and they've really figured this thing out. But if you can figure out a way to make a channel where people can actually engage with you and feel like you're a normal person, and make, $40,000 to $60,000 a year from it, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's going to be different for part-time folks versus you, where this is the job.
Yeah.
But Yakov brought it up here a little bit ago, because we keep telling him he's got to do a channel. He'd be monetized in about 3 weeks. How do you find that balance? Right? Because like I said, obviously it's different for part-time people that they've got a job as well to figure into the equation, but you've still got eBay and YouTube and family and, and church and all that. How do you find a way to find a balance and give everything what it deserves?
Yeah. I remember like when I was really getting into YouTube, like before I was laid off from my job, I was so jealous of guys like Lonnie and Cincinnati Picker. Cause I'm like, man, all they do is like eBay and YouTube. Like I'm over here working, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day and thrifting on my lunch break, trying to edit like in my 15-minute bathroom breaks. Like I would literally every time I went to the bathroom at work, I would start editing my video for the day or working on a thumbnail or something. I'm like, man, if I had the free time that these guys have, if I didn't have this job, I could do videos every day. This would be easy. Yeah. And it's not quite that easy, but it is wonderful. Like having like your only, concerns are really like your business, like making videos and selling stuff on eBay. So I'm not quite as productive as I thought I was going to be while I was working at my job, but I'm much more happier, more happy. I think that I've talked about that before. When people are comparing working a traditional job versus working for yourself, they like to only think about the money. They're like, oh, what about the money? What about the benefits? What about this? But you also have to think about your happiness. Gary Vee talks about it all the time. Would you rather be, working 80 hours a week, doing some job you hate, making 150 grand a year, or, just start flipping stuff on eBay, you're making 60 grand a year. You can make 60 grand a year flipping stuff on eBay if you do it full time and you're really good at it.
But I mean, I guess that brings into like, you decided to give yourself a challenge, I guess, for lack of a better word, of I'm going to do a daily vlog all through April, every day. And then near the end of the month, it was like The Shining, right? There's a little bit of a change there. And one word that stuck out to me that I thought was interesting is you called it, you said toxic, like it has the ability to turn toxic. What does that mean? You had a chance to kind of reflect on that?
So I would say I have no idea how guys like Casey Neistat and all the daily vloggers did it. Casey doesn't do it anymore, which I totally understand. But the YouTube channels that people do daily vlogs on, especially one of the ones that I really like, his name is Cody Warner. And he's like a filmmaker vlogger. He makes daily vlogs about like filmmaking and editing and stuff. And they're very good, and he's very good on camera, but his videos get 3,000 to 5,000 views each. Not a lot. The CPM for a filmmaking channel is very low. It's probably 0.2, 0.3 cents. So, and he did a video about how much money he made in I think last year or something with YouTube. And it was like $50,000, but like 30,000 of it came from video sponsors. Like, what's that web? I don't know. The typical video sponsors for video channels. But like his total YouTube income for like the whole year was like $1,800 or something from all of his daily vlogs for the whole year. And he stopped doing daily vlogs for a while, and then I think he started back. I don't know if he stopped again, but it is tough, like especially if there's no money in it. Like Casey did it for a while. I think Casey didn't even monetize his channel until he was at like 1 million subscribers. But again, Casey stopped doing it, and he said it was just toxic, because when you're trying to do videos every day, obviously you want to make them entertaining. So you feel the need to constantly, do crazy stuff. And sometimes that can lead to desperation, and not saying I did anything out of desperation other than trick shots, I guess. But I felt myself I just didn't like it. I just didn't like waking up and I'm like, okay, what do I got to friggin' film today? Like another trick shot. What am I going to do? I'm running out of pots, and I'm like, I don't want YouTube to be like that. I want to make videos. I want to truly be excited about videos, because if you start doing videos just because you have to, or just because you feel like it's good for your channel analytics or the algorithm or, stuff like that, it's going to come across in your videos. People are just going to be able to see that. Like you said, it was like The Shining. You could see like a change in the last couple of videos. And that's because I was just over it, and I tried it, and I'm never going to do daily again.
Yeah.
I might upload videos back to back on the individual days. But as far as truly daily vlogging, the Bluegrass Picker, it has to be fun. Yeah. For me, YouTube is a business, 100%. February, I went over my numbers, between YouTube, eBay, and Amazon affiliates in February, I made like $9,800, which is, in college, I would be lucky to make $9,000 over the course of 18 months. Right. It's crazy. So it's, I want it to be fun. I want it to be fun, something that I can continue to do. And daily is not something I would recommend. I don't understand how people do it. I think at the very least, even if you don't hate it, I still think it's tough to constantly come up with videos. Like Lonnie Garage Flips, I think he does daily still. Is that?
Yeah, I think so.
And some videos are better than others. It's some videos are just like, he rolled out of bed and here's 3 things I sold. See you guys tomorrow. I'm like, right. What was the point? Again, nothing against him. Great guy. But daily, I don't know. I want people to look forward to my videos as well. I don't want to this might be a good one or this might be a crappy one. I don't know. I want everybody to, when they see a new video from me, I want them to get excited.
So Emily's wondering about people watching ads, because, you get the skip button. You're sitting there watching the timer. Okay, when can I skip so I can stop watching this Mercari ad? Okay, click. Does it help if people sit through that ad? What does that do?
I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not an expert in it. I know they have to watch at least 5 seconds of it for it to be considered a view. But I don't think it matters either, because YouTube isn't going to let you skip it until after 5 seconds anyway.
Right.
I do know that if you actually click the ad and go to the website that the ad was for and buy something, then I would get more money for that. But again, I've never bought anything from a YouTube ad. I don't think I've ever watched a whole YouTube ad, much less purchase from it.
Right. At least not intentionally.
Yeah.
It's like where you realize you're 3 minutes into the how to make money on Amazon ad, and you're like, wait, what am I doing?
Some of them are tricky. Some of them end up like this. It's like a live chat, and you're like, oh, this maybe is another video. And then you look and it's just an ad that you could have skipped 12 minutes ago.
So how many items do you have listed in your store right now?
So at the beginning of all the COVID stuff, I think I had up to like 530, and I wanted to stay around the 500 mark. And then I just kept selling stuff all the time, constantly, more than Q4 sales. And I was also not listing anything. And the things I were listing were selling instantly, like puzzles and stuff and Nintendo Wii's. So now I'm down to like 380, I think, which sucks because it's really hard to build listings. Like, because the more you list, the more you're going to sell. So like today I listed 10 things, but I've already sold 2 of them. I'm like, it's cool, but I'm like, I'm trying to build my listings. I feel like you'd have to list, 50 things a day. Like Chris over at Daily Refinement, I don't know what his current goals are, but the past and the few times he's wanted to get to 10,000 listings, and he's broken it down. He's like, you could list 500 things a day, but if you do that, you're probably going to sell 50 of them. And so the next day, if you list 500 and you sell 50 of that, you're already down 100. And so it's the more you list, the more you're going to sell. So the harder it's going to be to list 10,000 to get to 10,000 active listings. I mean, even at 10,000, if you're listing quality thrift store stuff, you're going to sell 100 things a day. So you got to list it just to maintain 10,000. You got to list 100 things a day just to keep it there.
Yeah, well, I think that's interesting though that you can run this thing full time on 500, 600, whatever it is. You don't have to have.
Lately, things have not been traditional. I mean, I've had my sales over the last 90 or 30 days have been more than Q4. Probably November and December combined, which is not normal. And it's also not normal to have this amount of sales with no work or no listing. So I think we're all very lucky right now, for the most part. But yeah, it also helps with YouTube. I think YouTube and reselling in conjunction make it possible. I couldn't do full-time if I was only on the YouTube income. And I don't think I could do full-time if I was only on reselling income. Like, I got my Amazon affiliate check. It's weird. They pay like 2 months later. So like the February that I had, like really good Amazon affiliate February, that was like $780. And I just got that check on the 1st. So I'm like, I mean, that's awesome. Like it's crazy that I made that's almost our mortgage payment just from people clicking links and buying stuff on Amazon. Like I'm not even selling anything, so it's awesome, but it's just important to have those multiple streams of income. And that's what allowed me to almost hit 10,000 in February was that, I counted the 780 in February because that's when I earned it, but 780 from Amazon, like I think it was like 4,400 from YouTube, then plus eBay, that Scotch Flex and Seal video I did, which for the most part, I got a lot of support on it, but a couple of people hated on me, but I'm under contractual obligation not to disclose how much they paid. But it was a lot, the product is cool. It's not something I'm going to use all the time. But for the money they paid me, I think anyone would have done it. I remember Justin RVA Flip said they offered him $300 and it was nowhere near that. So I don't sell out for cheap. Let's say that.
Well, send them my email because, I'll sell out for cheap. It's fine.
Yeah. Rage Shadow Legends will sponsor you. They'll sponsor anybody.
I actually did get, and this was a while ago, I was like at 300 or 400 subs and somebody sent me an email saying, we think you'd be perfect to do an unboxing of our product. Clearly, they never watched my channel, knew what it was about, because it was for like a all natural organic sponge for your face, like a facial. Like I don't have much face here. Like there's not much.
Yeah.
So
I probably get emails,
but I don't think it's
times a week, man. Like this one company, it was like a beard oil or beard something, and their marketing director, she emailed me like 4 times in a week, like, please respond. Looking forward to your response. I'm like, I'm not gonna. No, dude. I have a beard. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna. Like, what percentage of my subscribers have a beard? Probably, I don't know, 5%.
There's a high percentage of resellers with beards. I'd like to see the Venn diagram. It's pretty high.
We should gather that information. But I was like, no, I like to, keep my channel sponsors something that can be appropriate for my whole audience.
Yeah. So what's your eBay strategy in terms of turnaround, right? Because I know there's a lot of, and there's a lot of check boxes in there, right? Like, do you take and send offers? Do you do promotions? I don't know if we want to get into all that, but just sort of the general mindset of, would you rather flip something quickly, or are you going to sit there on your price and just wait until you get what you believe that item is worth?
Yeah. So somebody commented on a video recently. I guess it was like a what sold video, and I was saying that things have been listed for 6 or 8 or 10 months. And he said that he's like, man, you're really patient. I don't let anything stay listed for more than 2 months before it sells. I'm like, why? Like, you've already listed it. It doesn't take extra work to leave it up,
Right.
Like a lot of things don't sell within 2 weeks or 2 months. So I don't know that I have a strategy. Like I said in my video the other day, I usually once a week or so, like Sunday nights, maybe I'll go through all that send offers to watchers on eBay, and just send offers to everybody. And that'll usually generate a lot of sales the next day. For the most part, I don't know. I don't really auction anything. I don't see the point in most of the stuff I'm listing. I just list for a competitive price. But yeah, I just try to, I don't know. I just list quality stuff. I think one thing, a lot of new sellers, like when I'm looking at new seller stores, like if they're doing a store review or something, a lot of people are just selling just really tchotchke stuff. Like, this is a cup that looks like a polar bear. I'm like, that's cool, but like, that's not going to sell. Not today, at least. It might, but it probably won't.
Eventually.
So I'm focusing on like I talked to you before the show, like I'm looking at buying broken Xbox controllers now because I got a little fancy screwdriver somewhere that lets me break into Xbox controllers. I had a controller that the joystick was broken, and I Googled it, YouTube search, figured out how to do that, and now I'm obsessed. So I bought like 3 broken controllers now, and I'm just going to keep fixing them. But those are cool because they sell all the time. Like you have to research, like eBay. I feel like the general public thinks of eBay as this weird website where people sell polar bear mugs and use toenail clippings and all this stuff. But if you look at the actual stats on YouTube, like the 10 most popular things, or not YouTube, on eBay, 10 most popular categories of items that sell are like Bluetooth speakers and phone cases and just boring stuff, but it sells all the time. Like hard drives. If I could get like a wholesale deal where I could, or like a wholesale appointment where I could just buy and sell hard drives all the time, making like a 10% profit margin, I would probably do it because those sell literally 8,000 a day, and that's something that's going to sell all the time. And yeah, I'll take the lower profit margins if I could just only sell that. And it's a lot less work. It's just one listing, quantity of 8,000, rather than thrift stores are fun. I like doing that stuff, but I think if you want to make any serious money, you're going to have to get into wholesale or at least figuring out some way to source fast selling items like the electronics and the video games and cell phones. That's where the money is.
Yeah. We just had a comment up from Kevin. Commonwealth Picker is in here. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, you need to go over it. This guy's been doing it for like 20 years. If there's something to know in the reseller world, that guy probably knows it. I'm trying to get Kevin on the show, guys, but he's the white, he's the whale. He doesn't do lives, so we're after it. We're trying, but he said, don't just focus on the daily, right? Yeah. Do the listing
goals. Forget building your store listings. Sell. Yeah, honestly, like, I mean, if you can list 10 things a day and sell them the same day, that's awesome. That's great, but you're not going to build your active listings. But active listings isn't super important. Like, I think everybody focuses on that sell-through rate of like 1 to 2%. So they think if I can get to 1,000 listings, I would sell 10 to 20 things a day. I'm like, yeah, but if you could have I know some people with stores that have 20 things listed, and they sell 10 to 20 things a day, because they're all multi-quantity listings. So right. I don't know. I think trying to base, like, if you have a certain amount of income you want, and you're basing that income off of getting up to a certain amount of listings, so you can make that income with the 1 to 2% sell-through rate, that is possible. It probably will happen, but that's probably the hardest way to get to that amount of profit. There are easier ways.
So Blind Hussy wants to know if you're worried about the return rate in the next month or so. I imagine because there's a lot of newer people on, maybe is what she's asking, or
I think a lot of people are buying, like, I had some people concerned about those dumbbells that I sold, paid $600 for them, sold them for $1,000. And like, what if the market, goes back to normal and he finds a pair on Facebook for $600 and he returns his, it's possible, but it's also just part of doing business. The more intense you get into eBay, the less you worry about returns. I mean, if you got a store that's doing significant volume, you're going to get significant returns. I try to do everything I can to avoid returns, but I still get 2 to 3 a month, I guess. What's really annoying right now is that people have so long to return an item.
Yeah.
Like you get 30 days to open the return, and then once you open, you get another 30 days to send it back, and your money's tied up the whole time. It's just that I sold a Dymo 4XL printer, and I shipped it, and then like after the mail got picked up, I saw the charger like sitting on the table, and I'm like, oh, dang it. So I just put it in a poly bag and sent it out the next day. And I forgot to message him about it. So he opened up a return request because the charger was missing. And I was like, hey, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I forgot it in package. I mailed it out the next day. If you got this today, you should get the charger tomorrow. Didn't respond. I sent him another message like 3 days later. Hey man, did you get the charger? Didn't respond. Sent him another message the next day. Hey, can you please let me know what's going on? The whole time the return was still open. Never responded to any of my messages. And that was over a month ago. And the return, like it had been open for about 20 something days. And so I opened a case because I was like, I need to close this because I want my money. It was like $147. And then it still did, like once the case was open, it like reset the timer. Like I called the other emailed Facebook for Business on eBay on Facebook, eBay for Business on Facebook. And I asked them to close it because it had been over 30 days since the original return was open, but they said the timer reset when I opened the case, so that the case has 30 days. Wow. So now I can't get the return closed until May 7th. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. They're like, because of the illness. I'm like, they don't even have to go to the post office. They can shove it in their mailbox.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you before we run out of time. I don't want to ask your favorite episode. That's too easy. What's your favorite office scene?
So I'll say two, because one is very popular. I feel like a lot of people have it's their favorite scene. It's the CPR scene. Yeah. And, it's just classic. Like the writing in that scene is so great. If you watch that scene from beginning to end, it is just filled with great writing, like where Creed's like, I remember you from the parking lot earlier. That's where I know you from. Yeah. Like Creed, this is a serious situation going on. It's great. Another one, my other favorite one that probably I don't think anybody else has is when the episode when Dwight has the doomsday device and he goes back to his house and they go to his house to try to convince him to turn off the doomsday device. And Pam is like taking off her shoes. She's like, wow, your house is beautiful. And he says, this is the most recent edition, built in 1812 by Erasmus Schrute. It doubled as a tuberculosis recovery ward until 2009. And I love that line so much because the most recent edition in 1812, that means the house is even older than that. Like, how old is that house? And then doubled as a tuberculosis recovery ward. Like, oh, that's cool. Until 2009. That episode aired in 2009.
Right.
It's just perfect. Oh man, that's good. That's
good. No, that is good. I tend to like the snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Snip, snap. Do you have any idea the toll that 3 vasectomies takes on a man?
Yeah, no, it is definitely one of the preeminent rewatchable shows. And we're scrolling through. Hey, Danny May is here. Danny May, thanks for stopping in. There's a lot of people in here tonight. I want to respect your time, and I know we're pushing on 7 o'clock here. So I guess just parting thoughts on growing eBay, growing YouTube. I think you're an expert in both of them. So what can people do? And then you've got a giveaway coming up as well. We should
probably tomorrow. I'll probably have a video coming out tomorrow evening. And I'll announce the giveaway. Dymo 4XL label printer, brand new in the box. Box has a little bit of wear and tear, but brand new, never opened. So be sure to stay tuned for that video. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at this, man. It's just, I mean, there's so many ways to like be successful at YouTube and reselling. I mean, there's guys way more successful than me in both of them. Like Part-Time Pickers is a great reseller, especially for part-time. Like I don't know any other part-time reseller that does the numbers he does. So he's he's a much better reseller than I am. I think I have him beat in terms of personality. I think I love him, but the dude's boring. Okay. Again, great content, but
I feel like I
don't watch his videos for his personality or the editing. They watch it because of the content and the information, you know, and nothing wrong with that. And that's what's beautiful about YouTube is that I think he just hit 35,000 subscribers. Like we started about the same time. So like we've both been growing about the same rate in completely different ways. And I love that. So yeah, that's YouTube. I don't know. YouTube's tough. I mean, it's very competitive, and not even in a negative way. Like not like people are out to get you. It's just hard to watch everybody's videos. So like, I love all of you guys in the chat, but I just don't have enough time in the day to watch every video you make, you know? So that makes, if you want to grow on YouTube, you have to do something to set yourself apart. If you're just another average YouTube content creator, you'll hit 1,000 subscribers and you'll make a couple $100 a month maybe, and that'll be it. To get past that plateau, you're gonna have to figure out some way to set yourself apart. And I don't know what that is. It's different for everybody. It's different for, you know, Cincinnati Picker is almost at 100,000 subscribers, and his videos are pretty formulaic. It's like most of the videos are over the course of a couple of days, just showing you what he sold it for, and you know, most reselling videos are kind of formulaic, but it works. It works for him. Garage flips, Lonnie, that works for him. His setup, little GoPro, grab and go, you know, that works. So you just got to figure out what works for you. As far as eBay, I think generally we can agree that you just have to list. I'm super blessed because I get a lot of support from viewers on my eBay store, which is awesome. I'm super appreciative of you guys. But if you don't have viewers buying from you, it's to get consistent sales, you've got to list. You've got to list pretty much every day.
Well, we do have over here, Chewy made it in the mail. He came out of Josh's store. So he made that box was beat up, but Chewy survived. He was happily packaged in there. So he's going to hang out here in the shop now.
Yeah, I didn't know it was you when I was making my video, because I feel bad. I feel like I forget a lot of people, because some people buy the item and then send a message after, and I rarely like can put the two together. And I think that's what you did too.
I just bought the item, honestly, and I didn't send you a note or anything. I just thought, you know what, I want to.
If anybody's watching, if you ever buy something from me, please send me a note. I'll be happy to give you a shout out. But I tried to shout out everybody that buys something from me. But I'm happy Chewy made it. He's famous. That was in 2 YouTube videos of mine when I bought it and sold it.
And now 3. So
now 3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So head on over to Josh's channel. He's got that giveaway. He's got fantastic content. I think he's given up on golf, but I appreciate all of his videos. I've got a garage sale video coming out tomorrow morning. There was actually a garage sale. I drove 35 miles to go to this garage sale. And then one of the things I wanted to look at, somebody got there, was an earlier bird than I was. But it's sitting over here. Josh saw it. It's one of the weirder things that I've picked up at a garage sale, but it's pretty amazing. So that's coming up tomorrow morning. We got stuff all this week. I'm not going daily vlog. I'm not going to do that, but I had a lot of stuff. So we're stacking it up. Lots of stuff coming out. Josh, I appreciate you coming in tonight, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My pleasure.
Like your willingness to do reviews of people's stores and channels and to come on. I mean, I don't even have 700 subscribers. You've got 30,000 and you're willing to come on my channel. I think that speaks a lot of you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. When I did a reselling review, I was honored when Rally Roots came on my show. I think I had, I don't know, like 600 subscribers, and they had like 60 or 70,000. So ever since that happened, I'm like, yeah, if I ever get to be like that one day, I want to make sure I'm, you know, I never get too big for my britches, so to say. So I'm always happy to help out any way I can.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. I sure appreciate it. If you're still, you know, hanging out and you want to watch something, Joey Bada Bing, he went live about 5 minutes ago, and he just goes until people fall asleep at their keyboards. I don't think he has an actual end time. He will just go. He and Rev were in there last week like, hey, nobody else is in the chat. You want to keep talking? And they just kept going. So if you want to go and hang out and check out Joey Bada Bing 22, go check him out because his live is going on right now. So, guys, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks so much, Josh. Once again, Thanks a lot. And thanks to here comes. She's not ready for it. Thanks to my wife.
What?
Yeah, see, there she is. Thanks to my wife for helping manage the comments tonight. That was awesome.
You are so welcome. My pleasure.
See,
Good conversation.
We're two of us, Josh, but we managed it. Thanks, guys. We're going to sign off.
Bye.
The sign off on this